This documentary explores the intersection of art and political movements across Latin America, revealing how artists have not only reflected but often sparked societal change.
Art was used way before colonial times by Indians, but after, it was largely influenced by European styles and tried to portray their interactions with indigenous people and accounts of violence and genocide due to colonialism. Accounts during this era are narrated through writings and different visual art forms, since majority of the population was illiterate. One of these chroniclers was Guamán Poma, who helped us understand a bit about the Inca Empire through the New Chronicle and Good Government. He writes some nobles have to follow norms to keep their societal titles. For example, if a man marries a Mitayo Indian woman and has children, they at least make stock. On the other hand, if a woman marries a Mitayo man or slave, then they are subjected to being a slave who loses their title as a doña. This shows the impact of Eurocentric norms and hierarchy. Palma helped conceptualize Latin America through his work, and so have the following artworks. The virtual diagram is of Andean ideas of gender and hierarchy. The female and the left hand are associated. Then the man, the right hand, and the moon are associated. In his drawing, Poma can easily use it as a place to critique the colonial regime by drawing a corrupt colonial official and using the concept of the drawing as a form of degradation. In the town council notary, Palma addresses that every town should have a notary, even the smallest ones. Their testimony should be deemed as valid as that of a royal notary. They had to keep up with the troubling incidents caused by corregidores. This is political because notaries give authenticity to testimonies and Indians were not excluded, but Indian women were. Therefore, this was a method to control what was going on in these towns. The next painting is by Frederick Weish and is an oil painting of Ecuador's mountains. He was an explorer and naturalist by the end of the Enlightenment period, and he tried to climb the volcano, reaching a significant amount of altitude in 1802. His work was important to understand South American land as he recorded data from the environment and atmospheric conditions. So this contributes significantly to geography and ecology fields. Science during this era was also used for political gain as they needed to understand environmental functions to further expand colonialism. Similarly to the previous point, this painting shows influences of European norms in the art of realism and impressionism. Also, he has multiple institutions named after him, such as Humboldt University of Berlin, and about 6 other countries, which shows how impactful his legacy is. Furthermore, other art forms of realism were used in Latin America to effectively portray messages. Artists that follow the costumbrismo genre took inspiration from Alexander von Humboldt and documented what they saw, such as people, traditions, and folklore for political reasons. These artists do not focus on great men, but instead everyday people of all social classes. The purpose of this art is to contribute to the construction of national identity. Through the Young Indians' Farewell, Gutierrez captures costumbrismo through everyday subjects in their national Mexican attire. The painting tells a story of a rural boy who leaves to go to the big city and is seen from the left saying his goodbyes to his family to pursue a career and education in the city. This painting places in question national identity as they value indigenous past while also trying to integrate themselves in a capitalist society that requires someone to work and to belong in the larger world culture.
Now, moving to the smallest country of Central America, El Salvador, it experienced an intense civil war from 1979 to 1992. This war broke out immediately after the death of Oscar Romero, Archbishop of San Salvador, who was often linked to liberation theology due to his advocacy for the poor. His death initiated outrage and intensified tensions between government forces and revolutionaries. Los Héroes Están Cansados by Dagoberto Nolasco, created in 2003, and this is about the aftermath of the Salvadorian Civil War and its long-lasting impact on the people of El Salvador. This piece portrays the toll of constant struggle on marginalized groups, particularly the working class and indigenous people who continue to face systematic oppression. Nolasco challenges the romanticized view of heroism by presenting a raw portrayal of the emotional and physical fatigue that comes with activism and resistance. Moving on to La Isla del Encanto, Puerto Rico, and the impact of Hurricane Maria that they experienced. It highlights the devastating impact of the disaster, showing the contrast between the community's struggle and the militarized delayed response to aid distribution. These grassroots centers formed to provide vital aid, which became a key role in mobilizing local communities after the government failed to respond effectively. Now looking at even more recent pieces of art, which brings us to Mexico and a struggle that women have been facing all over Latin America. This stark imagery symbolizes the violence women face and aims to raise awareness about the alarming rates of femicide in Mexico. Throughout Ciudad de Mexico and Ciudad Juarez, countless works of art stand as powerful testaments to a shared purpose, demanding justice for women who have suffered the devastating consequences of gender-based violence. Here we have a powerful mural displayed in Mexico City, which pays tribute to women who have fallen victim to gender-based violence. The mural also carries a stark reminder that 95% of femicide cases go unpunished. One of these posters features an older statistic revealing that on average 9 women were killed every day in Mexico, a number that has since then risen to 10. Overall, these art pieces highlight the connection between gender-based violence and the societal silence, calling for international solidarity and accountability. They also showcase the power of art and activism as a visual and performative expressions have mobilized grassroots movements and brought global attention to the issue.
Muralism is popular in Venezuela because it is a form of political expression and popular education. Many people have been deprived of basic needs in Venezuela, and there were protests against the police in the mid-1980s. Passing by a mural can make one reflect, as ideas and consciousness are today's most powerful weapon. Bellas Artes by Pablo Calaca is a colorful mural on the wall of a building that represents the realities of Caracas that has workers and musicians that represent the community.
As we conclude our exploration of the intersection between art and politics in Latin America, we've seen how art has not just reflected history, but shaped it. From the earliest colonial artworks documenting societal norms to the revolutionary murals of Mexico, each piece has played a crucial role in defining and challenging the identities of nations.